Hey guys, how's it going? Beck here from BeckSadick.com. Happy Friday. Hope everyone had a good week. So I am jumping on today. You guys are going to love this actually. I'm going to give you guys a really good formula for posting on social media that works really well if you're posting to get engagement or even sales, right? This is a proven strategy. I coached my team on this a couple weeks ago, and the amount of sales that came from it from each individual post was mind-blowing. So you guys are going to absolutely love this. I obviously am coming on live today too because my hair is actually done and looks good. And I had to make up for the past few days when I've had a hat on. So here you go. All right, guys. So I'm going to jump into this formula for you guys, and I'm really excited for you to put this to work and come back and let me know how it goes for you. If you're watching live, just drop me your name and where you're tuning in from below so I can make sure to say hi. And if you're watching the replay, drop me a replay in the comments below also. Okay, so let's jump into this formula. So first and foremost, I want the overarching theme of this to be that anytime you post on social media about your business, the objective of it is not to get sales, okay? If you're posting something and the objective is to get a sale, then you're doing it wrong. The objective and the intention of your post, it should be to generate interest, right? So you want to generate enough interest from a post that somebody feels compelled to reach out to you and have a conversation, right? So do you guys see the distinction between your intention being to make a sale and then your intention being to generate interest? Drop me a 1 if you see the distinction between that. So an example would be, right, if you're posting links to products, or if you're posting things about sales and promotions and other things like that would be to get a sale. Whereas if you're posting something that is more personal or more vulnerable or a story of some kind, that might be the intention to create enough curiosity to generate interest so that you can start to have a conversation, right? All right, you guys with me so far? Let me know if you're with me. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pick one part of your story to focus on. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is they wanna tell their whole story in one post, right? They wanna tell you about everything. They wanna tell you about the health changes that they've had. They wanna tell you about the financial changes they've had. They wanna tell you everything all at once. And it turns into this really long post that people just can't follow, right? It's too much all at once. So you wanna pick one part of your story to start with, okay? You can tell other parts of your story at a later point in time, right? Like kind of an 80-20 rule. So maybe 2 out of every 10 posts could be a different part of your story, but you're gonna start with one part. So think of one thing, one way that your product has affected you, one way that the business has affected you, and you're gonna start with that. Number 2 is that you're gonna be clear and concise, okay? Nobody's got time to read hours and hours of text, okay? Nobody has time for it. Think about yourself. Always put yourself in your perfect prospect's shoes, right? If you come across something on Facebook and it looks like it's gonna take a really long time to read, do you stop and read it? No, right? You might say, I'm gonna come back to this when I have more time. It's not like you're not interested. It just takes so much time to read through something that's really long. So you're gonna be clear and concise, okay? The third thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pay attention to your spacing. This is one of the other big mistakes that I see people make, is that they put everything into one paragraph, right? So there's no spacing in between thoughts. Hi, Raquel. Thank you. I'm glad this is helpful. So there's no spacing in between thoughts, right? That's also really hard to read, and it makes people say, I'm gonna come back to this later. Or their brain automatically just shuts off because they just don't have time to read through a bunch of text. If you put a blank space in between each thought, right? So like 1 or 2 sentences, and then you hit return, and then a blank space, and then another 2 sentences, thought, blank space, another 2 sentences, thought, right? And that's how you structure your post. People are gonna actually be able to read it. Their brain is not gonna shut off. They're gonna say, oh, that looks easy to read. I'm gonna spend some time reading this. So make sure that the spacing in your post is really clear and not one lump of paragraph text, okay? Now let's talk about emojis. Emojis are something that can be awesome if you use them for emphasis, right? So I love to use them to emphasize a point. Like maybe at the end of a sentence or the end of one thought, I might use it to emphasize that point. the thing that you don't want to do is overuse them. So you might see a lot of the time people are putting like emojis in, like 4 emojis in one sentence, right? In between words. And yeah, like they're funny, they're cute, but people have a lot of trouble reading it. And I'm sure you could probably relate, right? Drop me a 2 in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about, when it just gets hard to read a post when you overuse emojis. So I want you to focus on using them to create emphasis. Use them to make people laugh, but don't overuse them, right? So those are my 4 tips for you on how to create a social media post for engagement and sales, right? So again, the intention is not to sell something. It is to actually create curiosity, enough curiosity so that somebody wants to come and have a conversation with you. When you're telling your story in that post, you're gonna make it very clear in that first sentence what the story is gonna be about so people know what to expect, right? So again, you're not gonna try and fit 18 pieces of your life into one post. You're gonna pick one part, right? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna set it up and you're gonna talk about maybe where your life was headed, right? Maybe where your life was headed before the solution came into place. And then you're gonna go into how great life is now because you found that solution, right? Then the last thing you're gonna do is you're gonna have a call to action. You always wanna have the call to action because you wanna make sure that people know what to do. Now you wanna be careful with your call to action because Facebook's algorithms are picking up on comment below or PM me, right? They actually hide those posts now. So there's ways that you can get around that. You can actually use emojis to get around that, right? So you could like use an emoji that kind of shows somebody writing a comment, and you could use that and then write below. So it would be like comment below, but you'd be using emoji there instead. So that's one way that you could get around Facebook's algorithm, but still give a call to action and tell somebody what it is that you want them to do. This is a type of post that is going to absolutely work on a personal page, a business page. It will also work on Instagram. Instagram, you have to be a little more careful with the spacing because it works a little bit differently. But this is a great post to use if you want to get engagement in sales. It's very different than doing a super salesy post, right? So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Drop me a line below if you got value from it. Just drop me a value in the comments below. This is the type of training that I'm going to actually be doing in the new course that I'm launching, which I'm so excited about. It's going to be called Book Solid. And that course is actually going to be to help network marketers book themselves solid with high quality prospects and leads for their business, right? Which is a process that I've been able to do over the past couple of years, is give myself solid appointments every single day with prospects that have found me through social media, through digital marketing. So that's the course I'm going to be launching. This was like a little taste of some of the things that I'm going to be teaching. So again, if you got value from this, drop me a value below. Thank you, Jamie. Hi, Shayna. Good to see you. Glad you guys could be on. And have a great Friday. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.